Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here again with you on the 14th of June, 2023. I'm here with psychic medium and remote viewer, Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so by popular demand, how did I know this was going to come up? We have to do another hex pulse chain probe, which is going to encompass quite a bit, I would imagine. So, we're going to need multiple personalities and multiple people probed today, Liz.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Richard Hart.
Okay.
How is he doing today?
He's worried.
Okay. Why is he worried?
Because things are not going as according to plan.
Right. Okay. What does he know about the Twitter character called Lance Parker running something called Bank X?
He knows nothing about him personally.
Does Richard Hart have anything to do with Bank X?
Yeah. I'm affiliated with Bank X.
He's affiliated with them?
Yes.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? I don't know. What is Bank X?
Well, it's on your screen now. Apparently, it's a silver-pegged crypto-backed stablecoin that pays you interest for minting it. I don't know. I mean, he's called it a scam on one of his tweets, so how come he's affiliated with it?
You call it a scam on one of the tweets? I feel like he bought into this.
All right. Can you just hold in there, Liz?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can you? I don't know if this guy is Lance Parker. This image that's on the screen now, and I don't know.
No,
if this
that's a fake.
Right. Can you grab Lance Parker IO, this Twitter account as an entity?
Yes.
What is the purpose of what this guy's doing? What is the purpose of BankX?
To distract.
Distract from what?
What do you mean by distract? To fool the masses.
What connection does this BankX have with Richard Hart?
What connection do you have with Richard Hart? No official connection.
Okay. What unofficial connection does he have, or do they have?
Official connection, do you believe Richard Hart bought into some?
Yeah. Okay. Hold him there as well, please.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is the so-called God Whale token. Sorry, God Whale account.
What does that mean?
Well, a big whale holds a number of cryptos, maybe a lot of one particular crypto. And somehow this account, whilst I was away on vacation, has been given the name of God Whale account. So your questioner that you asked to submit questions, he's referring it to the same GW. So it's a very large holding of hex. Now, from my research, back in the 20th of February, this entity here bought 3.5 billion, I'm using rounded numbers, of hex at somewhere around the cost of $212 million. That's a lot of money.
Paid that much money?
Somebody did, so we're going to probe it. Okay, is this Richard Hart? Does he own this?
Do you own? Okay, let's. How many? Or do we have a name for this wallet other than Godwell?
No, because they're just by. The wallet ends in hex address 2D, 2D, A2. I mean, he must know it. If he owns it, it's got like 2.6 billion hex on it at the moment, worth about $20 million.
That's his.
It's his?
Yes.
I thought it was. I bloody knew it was. Why did he send 800 million? Oh, right. Now then, I'm getting it. Okay. Did he send 800 million hex to Bank X?
Did you send 800 million hex to Bank X? No.
Well, 800 and sorry, all right, sorry, 830 million.
Did you send 830 million hex to Bank X? Yes.
Wow. Why did he do that?
Why did you do that? Because he's got billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, and he's branching out. He regularly invests in new products, new cryptos to see where they're going. I also feel he was asked to invest in BankX.
Right. You see, I on the Discord when this came up yesterday before we did this, and I said, how did the mystery person know when to buy when he did 1 week after Pulse Chain was launched? What was his motivation and point for doing so? Because from a trader's perspective, that was not a smart move. So, who is the mystery god whale? At first, I thought it was Richard Hart, but he would not fall for sending 800 million hex to a scammer. But it could make sense if it's him. Why? Because he has taken many tokens off the market in an effort to shore up the crypto pulse chain launch. Plus, he can afford to play around with large numbers, being a billionaire and even losing 20 million. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true. He regularly listen, he has so much money.
Oh yeah, I know.
20 million.
I know.
It's a
It's
drop
nothing.
in the bucket.
Okay.
You realize he has altogether, it's obscene. Do you want me to give you the number that I'm getting?
Please, yeah.
He actually has about 500 billion.
Wow.
It's spread out. He keeps it quiet.
Not anymore.
Right. Well,
wow.
But that's the amount of money he has.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, good on him. He invented it. And now okay. He's sitting on he sent 830 million to Bank One or Bank X. He's still sitting on 2.677016 hex, like 2.7 billion hex. What is he going to do with them? Because obviously, if he tries, he doesn't need the money. Is he just going to keep these off the market? That's what people want to know. I mean, what is his plans going forward for hex, for Pulse Chain, for PLX? What is it? What are the plans?
Are you planning to keep the 2.7 billion? I don't think he's going to do anything with it.
Good. That's what we all want to hear, because they're taken off the market and that makes scarcity. What does he think of the current price action with Hex on Pulse Chain and on the Ethereum network? Because it's quite low.
He's not happy about it.
Did he buy these Hex, which he clearly did back in 20th of February? Did he buy it 2 days before? Oh, sorry, was it 2 days before? Whenever it was. Sorry, did he buy it with the intention of, locking up some of the supply of Hex to support the price?
Exactly.
There you go. So I was right on that as well. Okay. I thought because he put on a tweet the Bank X was a scam, now he's admitting to sending to it. And obviously I put on my thing on the Discord yesterday that I thought I worked out that he could easily afford. Who else would be doing this? You know, it's either a deep state bad actor that's trying to wreck Hex and everything, or it has to be Richard Hart. It had to be Richard Hart to do something to support the price and support his products. I mean, at the end of the day, Hex, you know, he's responsible for all that. I can't imagine why because most of his wealth will be stuck in that. Why does he want the prices so low? I would imagine he wants them higher.
Well, he does want it higher. Don't forget, if the price is low, he loses a lot of money as well.
I know. But he went in the market on the 20th of February and he bought, you know, 3.5 billion approximately Hex, and he spent $212 million. I mean, that was a major buy. Major.
And it was to support the liquidity.
Right. Okay.
He figured there was going to be a sell-off.
Okay.
And he needed to support the liquidity of Hex.
Okay. Apparently the Hex community sees Bank X as a threat, you know, because they already have one stable coin project that's failed, and their current project, you know, aims to tie the coin to the price of silver. What does he think about that?
Okay, let's break it down into one question.
Well, yeah, so there's a statement first. The Hex community basically sees Bank X as a threat because they've already had one stablecoin project that has failed recently, and their current project is one that aims to tie their coin to the price of silver. So what does he think about Bank X's current project to tie the price of their coin to the price of silver?
It's a failed project.
So does he really mind or matter that he invested 830 million Hex into it? He sent them 830 million Hex, of which no doubt they will cash out.
Yeah, he says they don't deserve the money.
Yeah, but he sent it, so, you know, he knew the risk.
Yes, and I mean, that's not a lot of money to him.
No, I know. I know. Right. Okay, well, I feel a lot better now. So not that I felt bad, but when I came back from vacation, there was all these questions, you know, everything's going to doom and gloom, and, you know, Bank X and the God whale and all this lot. People seriously think that, you know, somebody's going to, I mean, you have to have very deep pockets or have a really bad agenda to spend $220 million on coins to then sell the lot off and get maybe 20 million back at tops. And he wouldn't even do that. If he dumped them all, you know, he would get less because that would drive the price down lower. So, you know, he could lose 200 of his 212 million all day long. Why would he do that? Makes no sense.
He's not planning to do anything with that.
Good.
How do people find this information?
Well, I mean, I worked it out. I mean, you've got the Etherscan address here that was given to me by the guy, you know, our friend on Discord.
Block Pirate.
Yeah, Block Pirate. So I mean, I haven't gone through all his questions now because there's no need. We pretty much get it. We've got the situation. It's not as bad. You know, these are his coins and he's not dumping them. Bottom line, doesn't really matter what, you know. Maybe Bank X will dump them out over time. Let's go back and let's ask him what his plans are. Let's get back to Bank X. Let's ask this guy. What's his plan with the 830 million Hex? Over what time period does he plan on selling them off?
Okay, I'm confused. So Richard Hart sent this Bank X 830 million Hex.
Correct.
And why send them Hex? Why not just send them money?
Well, because why send them Hex? Well, because that's really what Richard Hart has, doesn't he? I mean, he's probably got more Hex than anybody else. So, and don't forget, that puts it on the market, and then that draws out liquidity as well. So, there becomes a trade, the volume goes up. So I get why he might do that. You know, if
So,
it doesn't help Hex by him sending him dollars or USDT, but this guy will have to do something with his Hex, assuming he's not into Hex for the long term and he's not going to stake them or do anything. He wants to cash out. This guy, $20 million at current price might be a lot of money. It's a drop in the ocean for Richard Hart, but for this guy, it might be a hell of a lot of money. So my question is, with the 830 million Hex that he received, has he been selling them off? What's his plan? I mean, this is what people want to know. You see, this guy is not a hexagon. He's not really into hex. He's just using it. You know, he really probably just wants dollars.
so I feel that he is looking to cash out, but he's waiting for the price to go up.
Right. He does understand that if he cashes out now, he will keep the price down.
He doesn't care about that.
Yeah, because he doesn't care about hex. So no, I mean he wants out. He's not in the space. He literally has been given a gift of hex by Richard Hart. Richard Hart probably shouldn't have done it, but then hey, you know.
This
Richard
Lance
Hart.
Parker is not Lance Parker, right?
No, I'm not saying he is. He's probably a made up name.
He is a Middle Eastern or Indian or Arab.
Yeah. Okay, and he wants dollars, I would imagine.
Yes. Is BankX a scam? Yeah, BankX is a scam.
Right. Okay, and Richard
They
Hart.
have nothing to back anything.
Yeah.
So is the coin called BankX?
I don't know, Liz. I only found out about it yesterday when I came back from vacation. I haven't been following anything. I've been wonderfully away from cryptos for 2 weeks and all things financial and everything. So I've been playing fast catch up.
So whoever's behind BankX has no intention of giving people any money back.
Right. So lesson
They're
number
taking
one.
off with all the money.
Yeah. So lesson number one. So it's another, rug pull type thing. So lesson number one, don't invest any money with these people. Don't fall for any of their lies and their publicity. Lesson number two, well, not lesson number two, point number two now is over what period of time. I mean, at the end of the day, if Richard Hart donated, invested 830 million hex into this guy's project, even if it was a scam, even if it's turned out to be a scam, which is what the probe is showing, the guy will not dump on a low market. Why would he? He's got 20 million now. If hex price went up tenfold, he's got 200 million. Why would he dump out now? This would not be a smart thing. I don't think so. I mean, it's not like he's stolen them. It's not like he's got them illicitly. Richard Hart gave them to him as an investment. Now, maybe the underlying investment isn't really there and that's a scam, but that's between Richard Hart and him. Whether Richard Hart wants to take that any further or not, whether he can track these people down, I don't know. But of course,
can I just say, it may be a lot of money for some people, but it would be like you and I buying $5 or $10 worth of a crypto.
Oh, I know, for Richard Hart. I get that.
Right.
Richard Hart probably
yeah,
doesn't.
But a lot of people may not understand that. It's like,
oh, I understand it. Richard Hart has been a billionaire for a long time. I fully, I mean, he's the brains, or sorry, well, he is the brains certainly, but he's the guy that started Hex, and he started the clone of Ethereum and everything. So of course and we've probed him out before, and Hex is still around. So why would he kill the golden goose? There is no reason for Richard Hart to destroy Hex or Pulse or anything. His wealth is tied into it. I mean, and why would he do that?
He's not actually even interested in money anymore. He's just interested in creating a product that is stable.
And I think when we probed him a couple of times back, we found out that in the future he's done this again. He's going to do another one or something. So yeah, I mean, he's got more money, but he's not going to wreck it for everybody else. I mean, he would have to be, to trash himself and, send all his coins back to near enough zero would ruin his own wealth. And of course, the legions of fans and hexagon holders and pulse chain people and everybody around the planet. And then, of course, all his legacy would be a failure. I'm sure he would like to be known as, one of the most successful crypto guys ever, not one of the biggest scammers or failures.
Well, considering he's a perfectionist,
Right.
I I agree with that statement because I just asked him and I said, "Would you deliberately wreck Hex?" And he was like, "No, I want it to succeed."
Of course. People always look after their own self-interest first. And, say what you like about Richard Hart, and I've been following him for years, way before Hex. You know, he's always been into this kind of alternative currency, and, and he's come up with an idea, and Hex is, his detractors, of which there are many, because of course he tells the truth a lot about so many cryptos and coins that nobody, it goes against the narrative. So of course they gang up onto him. But Hex has been very successful. It's down at the moment, but then if you're an investor, you're not really worried about it. If you're a day trader, maybe you are. But this is an accumulation. Would he agree with me with the statement Hex is now in an accumulation phase?
Okay, let me ask: is Hex in an accumulation phase? Absolutely. What do you mean by that?
Well, a lot of people, they call them weak hands in trading in stocks and all that lot. When the price dumps, they have very weak hands and they want to sell. They sell at the wrong time. Retail does this all the time. Day traders do it all the time. They sell at the wrong time. You sell near the top or on a rising market, not when it's on the floor. But if this is about as low as the hex price can get, and we can probe that in a minute, but if this is about as low as the hex price can get on both chains, this is a time to buy. So this is when you accumulate the coins. Why would you want to pay 10 cents if you can pay 2 cents? Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, we never took this as a short-term coin.
No.
Every time we've probed it, we've looked like 5 years out, 10 years out. We've never looked at it like, oh, well, the price is this and the price is that tomorrow. We've never looked at it like that.
No. The problem is the price of hex relatively is fairly easy to manipulate because the liquidity is low, and you can put big buy orders in and things, or big sell orders, and you can affect the price. I mean, you could do it with anything, but you need a lot more money to move Bitcoin. If you spend £1 million on hex or sell £1 million, you'll move the price. If you sell a million or buy £1 million or dollars worth on Bitcoin, you won't move the price. Yeah.
Mm.
It's the same with large market cap stocks and very tiny penny shares. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Buy $1 million worth of Amazon or IBM, something, it won't do anything to the price.
Right, right. And
So,
I think we're just going to have to wait on this one. People are so panicked. They've had so many scams, so many rug pulls in the crypto world. So I can understand why they feel this way. What do you believe is the reason for the price going down so significantly?
who are you asking, me or Richard Hart?
Oh, well, I can ask Richard Hart. Why do you believe the price went down so significantly? Because it's going through a transformation period, is what he just said.
Right.
I
How
don't
long does he?
understand what that
How
means.
long does he think it will last?
How long do you think that will last? 2 years.
Oh, so the price will be low for 2 years.
Do you believe the price will be low for 2 years? Um, relatively, but he expects that after 2 years, that Hex will climb significantly.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cryptos take, I think on the average is 1.4 years anyway. So, yeah, okay, 2 years maybe. I mean, but does he expect any gains in the price by the end of the year, say, the last quarter of this year?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I. I think we might have a flat summer and then fall, it'll start going back up.
Yeah, but all the cryptos are down at the moment.
I know. What does he think of the current US administration's war on cryptos with their attacks, via the SEC and some of the senators coming out with the things that they're saying?
It's a disaster for a free society,
Right.
is what he said. I don't know what he means by that.
Well, government really shouldn't be involved in what you spend with your money or anything, but they seem to be getting themselves involved in everything and telling everybody what they should and shouldn't be doing,
Well, that's true. I mean, I've already been through that enough this year. I understand that. If you would have told me last year, I wouldn't have understood it. But because I've actually experienced it myself now, I totally get it. You know, my services as a psychic are not illegal, but according to the payment platforms, the banks, and the systems and the algorithms, they don't like esoteric services. Therefore, they like to blanket ban across the board. Now, I understand it's risky and all that, but I agree. They shouldn't be telling people how to spend their money. It's like now they're blocking you from making purchases on whatever it is you want to purchase.
Right.
It's not good. So I guess maybe that's what he means.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a for freedom kind of guy, isn't he? I mean, he's definitely not in that, Who did we speak to yesterday? DeSantis, and he wants to ban all crypto.
Yeah.
So think about that if you want him as your president.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I didn't really go through all the questions as written here because there's no point.
Well, we can go through them just in case anything does come up.
Well, okay. No, I've answered those. Okay, so we've got pricing questions at the end. We're going to have to take him out for a while in the future because there's no point asking him pricing questions of today because we can see what they are. So
Okay, well, let's just try to keep it generic.
you say you decide the timeline because one of the questions here, which are basically when are the lowest, when is the highest, when and all that. I mean, how far do you want to go out to be able to look back? That's the point. So
let's go to 2030.
Oh, okay. Wow. Right, you are. Right, let's put him out to 2030 then.
Okay, so he's a real health nut. June 14th, 2030, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. He's really worked on his health, by the way. Richard Hart, he's become an extreme health nut.
Right. Doesn't surprise me, actually. Does not surprise me. Why not? Hey? Okay, let's start with the obvious questions then. How's Hex done these past 6-7 years?
Sorry about the alarm going in the background. How has Hex done these past 6 or 7 years? It's going pretty well. Hang on. Sorry, I paused the recording. I think the keys are playing with the kids are playing with the keys. Okay. Sorry. What were we saying? It's done very well.
Right. So we've got Richard Hart out into 2030. June the 14th. He said he's a complete health nut now. And my question was, how has Hex done these past 7 years?
It's grown steadily.
On which chain is Hex more dominant, on the pulse chain or on the Ethereum chain, or are they about equal?
Is it more dominant on the Pulse chain or the Ethereum chain? Ethereum.
Yeah, see, that came out in a probe before.
Oh, it did? I don't remember.
Yeah, Ethereum. And in the short term, I think it was Pulse, but then it was Ethereum. So why does he believe that Hex is more dominant on the Ethereum chain compared to the Pulse chain, when the whole point of Pulse chain was to have lower fees?
Because Ethereum is king.
Right. Okay.
Pulse chain is pretty active, though.
All right. So let's do the price questions then. When from June the 14th, 2023 to June the 14th, 2030, when was the lowest price for Hex? Month, year. What month and what year was the lowest price for Hex on the Ethereum chain?
The Ethereum chain was the lowest price for Hex in 2023.
From 2023 June to June 2030.
The lowest price in June 2023. Yeah, this year is pretty low.
Okay.
What about 2024? Was that a low year? No, it climbed. 2025, is it low or higher than 2023? It's higher. 2026, is it higher or lower than 2023? It feels like it goes down a bit in 2026. In 2027, is it higher or lower? It's climbing again. In 2028, it's lower. It goes lower again than 27 and 2029. It's climbing in 2030. Is it higher or lower than 2023? It's significantly higher than 2023.
Okay.
I'm not going to give a month because
No, that's fine. Liz, don't worry about it. I mean, yeah, that's fine. So this is like the lowest year, really? The rest of this year?
it's yes,
Okay.
it's low.
All right. So again, that reiterates what I said before and what Richard Hart has confirmed in the probe. This is the accumulation time, guys. Buy your Hex. All right. Next question. Does Hex on the Pulse chain match similarly the highs and the lows of the Ethereum one, so you don't have to go through it all again? Is it pretty much the same, or is there massive disparity between the two?
Is there a massive disparity between the Pulse chain and the Ethereum network for the price of Hex? Not massive, no.
Okay. Well, no, there can't really be massive disparity because otherwise arbitrage would set in. People would buy on one chain and sell on the other, which is why Bitcoin has the same price pretty much wherever you go. Bitcoin will never be $5,000 cheaper on one exchange because everybody would buy it on that exchange and sell it on the more expensive one. So, prices have to normalize and stabilize across markets. Okay. Same question now for PLS, the Pulse Chain token. In which year was the highest price for Pulse Chain token from 2023 to 2030?
Pulse chain PLS. What is the lowest price between? I think it's this year.
Right. And which year is the highest price?
26, 27.
All right. Did Richard Hart launch any new cryptos the last 7 years? Not Pulse, not Pulse X, not PLA, no, none of those. I mean, has he launched any more?
Yes, 2.
Okay, and when did he do that?
1 in 27 and one just in 29, 30.
The one in 27?
One in 27.
Do you have a name for the one that was launched in 2027?
I feel like it's something to do with hex.
All right. Okay.
As in staking and getting new, a new coin.
Right. Um, so that new one that was launched in 2027, now looking at June 2030, has it been a success?
No, it's slow.
Right.
I feel like it's very difficult to launch new cryptos post 25, 26 is what I'm getting. There's a lot
Right.
of government regulation. You have to meet certain standards. This is where a lot of the cryptos are going to fade as well. I feel like a lot of cryptos have already faded. They're not doing anything. You're just waiting for them to just fall off the trackers. And as we start moving closer to 2030, the regulation tightens and it becomes extremely difficult. So only your big players seem to survive.
Right. Has Hex, Pulse Chain, or PulseX, or PLS, have they had any problems with regulatory authorities over the last 7 years?
Hex or Hex2 or ETHEX or PLS or Pulsechain had any problems with regulations? No, because they made sure they were compliant.
Right. Okay.
Compliance is extremely expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is.
I'll take you back to what I put out years ago about Digibyte.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You
Yeah.
remember
15.
that? And
Yeah.
then a certain charlatan kept putting out that, oh, Digibyte, it's going to be the only surviving coin. Well, what people don't realize is that the person putting it out is friends, excuse me, is friends with one of the heads of Digibyte.
Mm.
And Digibyte needs a lot of money to become compliant. It is a failed coin. You don't
Right.
hear a lot about Digibyte anymore,
No,
but
you don't.
no. And this is what I mean. A lot of these coins that you're not hearing about anymore, they're just fading away. If your money's stuck in these coins, I mean, I would even you can do what you want to do, but as I'm probing out, it looks like it's the stable coins. And I don't mean like stable as in stable. I mean like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, those types of coins that are dominating the market still because of the compliance and the regulations.
So let's ask Richard Hart this. We're in June 2030.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bitcoin still the dominant crypto?
Is Bitcoin still the dominant crypto? Um, it is, but it's losing status.
How's Ethereum doing?
Ethereum is doing very well.
Has Ethereum done better or worse than Bitcoin from a price point of view over the last 7 years?
Has Ethereum or Bitcoin done better over the last 7 years from a price point of view? Ethereum has done much better as with regards to price. I feel like Ethereum is about 25 grand.
Woo. So if I was to invest $1,000 in June 2023 in Ethereum and $1,000 in Bitcoin in June 2023, looking out now in June 2030, which one would give me the most return?
The $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2023 and $1,000 in Ethereum in 2023 in June 2030, which would give you the most return? Ethereum.
Right. Okay. Well, this has been an excellent eye opener, and for all the naysayers out there and the worry guts and the weak hands and everybody, hopefully this has put your minds to rest. I said on the
another question.
Sorry,
I'm going to ask this because I know there's some people on the Discord that are heavily into BNB. If you were to put $1,000 into BNB and $1,000 into Ethereum in June 2023, looking out to 2030, which would have made more money? And that's BNB. I feel like BNB is up to about 4,000 to 5,000.
Right. Wow. So Binance has not been stopped trading in the US then, is that right? Ask Richard.
Binance been stopped trading in the US? Is Binance still? He's not really concerned with that because he's no longer in the US.
No. Okay, well, is Binance still the number one exchange then by volume?
Is Binance still the number one exchange by volume? Yes, Binance is king.
Wow. There you go. Okay.
Caleb and Brown are still going as well.
Oh, good.
Mm.
I'm glad they are because I like Caleb and Brown. They're good.
I know you do.
What about Kraken? Is Kraken still going?
Is Kraken still going? Yes, but Kraken has seen some rocky times.
Okay.
What about Coinbase? Is Coinbase still going? I feel like Coinbase is going to have a lot of problems with regulation.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, I think that wraps most of it up for now. No doubt we'll revisit Hex and Pulse and all that in the future, but a lot of this has echoed, some of the future stuff has echoed with a probe that we did last year, actually. So there's a lot of similarities from memory, especially on peak pricing and things like that around the 26, 27 mark. So
I think that 26, 27 mark, let's ask Richard Hart this. Because do you invest in the stock market? Yes, he does. I knew that. How is the stock market doing in 2023? Terrible. What about 2024? Gaining ground. 25. It's really flowing in 25. Okay. 26. Really flowing in 26. 27. It flows at the beginning of 27, but now you're starting to see this drop off. And that's consistent with cryptos and the stock market. We keep getting that. 25, 26, 27 are like the bumper crop years in crypto and the stock market. And then in 27, it has a peak and then it starts to really fade off. And then we start going into a bear market again.
Right. Does he know or keep track of how Elon Musk is doing?
Do you know or keep track of how Elon Musk is doing? He doesn't like Elon Musk.
Oh, okay. Does he know if Tesla's still doing all right?
Is Tesla still doing? Yes, Tesla, he just said, is the beast.
Oh, okay.
Now, those of you that paid attention and invested in Tesla when I put out that prediction a while ago, already you would have made a significant amount of money.
Right.
And it's just going to keep growing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have to, you have to look at long term. I know that there's a lot of day traders out there, and we do have day traders on the Discord. But they're not just using me as a guide. They use a lot of different things. They use TA, they use different astrology charts, they use me, they use all kinds of different sources of information. So, and that's something that everybody should be doing, especially if you're just so desperate to make money. You need to find an alignment. That's what's important. It's not about using one person or one source of information, and that should be the be all and end all. It's about doing your research. It's about looking at TA, looking at all kinds of different charts, and being assured, being really confident about making your decisions. If you're just trading on your emotions alone, you're doomed.
Yep. Okay, I think that's wrapped it up now.
I think this was a good video. Hopefully, it cleared up a lot for a lot of people. I know there's a lot of panic out there about Hex, but are you worried about it, Mr. Shakespeare?
No, I never was.
No, I don't know. When I was reading all the comments on the Discord, it didn't phase me. I wasn't worried. I was like, this is there. I feel the panic, but it
Well, the
just
thing is, I mean, I've been out of the loop for nearly 2 weeks. I haven't looked at cryptos. I haven't paid any attention to anything. So when I came back and all this, all these people and all this worry, and I started looking into it, but it's not changed my position. We've probed Heart and we've probed Hex and things out in the future. You know, I don't have a stake that doesn't. I have no stakes that end until next year at the earliest. So I really don't care what the price is now today. I don't care what it's doing. I like the fact that it's low because it means I can get some more. I think Hex is on sale, so I shall buy some more.
exactly. All right. Well, thank you very much. This is not official financial advice.